So we welcome everybody. It's been a great day today. I'm so proud that I've been asked to come here today. So I'm Angie Dyson, Supported Living Director for the Priory Group. Everybody I speak to at home say, the Priory Group, isn't that where Katie Price and Robbie Williams go get the detox on? Yes, it is. But Priory Group is a massive national organisation, and not only do we provide detox and specialist medical and private support for all the celebrities, we also have a massive portfolio providing hospital services, residential services and supported living for the most vulnerable people within our communities. We cover the whole of the UK, Northern Ireland and Scotland. And you see probably not at the back, all the little dots, that's where our presence is currently. So we've got 218 locations. We currently have 626 colleagues. As you can appreciate, that'll go up and down on a daily basis. Our commitment in Priory is supporting people to live their best lives fully and independently as possible and within the least restrictive way. To achieve their individual goals, however big or small they are to you and I. We ensure that early transition planning across the whole of our organisation and working much more closely with our hospital to ensure that people are supported through the whole pathway. We've appointed 2 specialist assessment and transition directors, particularly around people and supporting people with complex autism, which allows us to be able to get our specialist services to be able to meet their needs. Last year we had 37 people with autism that moved on from our healthcare into residential services and 53 people from our residential services to supported living. One of our key objectives, as you know today, is working with our partners, commissioners, funders to ensure that we meet services and local needs and meeting the needs of individuals either through individual packages of care or people living together to live the best lives. We have a record number of services and we are finding our demand is higher and higher every week. Currently we're at 93% occupancy level both in our residential and supported living services, and we constantly get referrals. Our biggest challenge is housing. We have a lot of integrated pathways through Priory for our hospital, our residential supported living, and you'd think that would be easy, but it's the most complex thing ever, especially when a lot of our hospitals, people are placed from all over the country, and a lot of the local authorities want to place people back within their local area. We then have to try and navigate around all those local authorities to ensure that the people we're supporting get the best transition back. Residential care, we've moved to much more specialist residential care, individual placements, and supported living is one of our biggest growth areas because we know that that's what people want and we know that that gives them the best lives. I won't go into all this into detail because I don't think it's any different to what all you guys are achieving, but it's about being person-centred, improving people's outcomes and experience, obviously ensuring people live in the least restrictive practice and stop having anyone being readmitted to hospital. We work with funders and commissioners to ensure the right solution, even though that is very challenging, and we try and respond to the needs of our local health economy. So my role within Priory is really around navigating the supported living director, working with all the key partners, working with our local service development teams who get constant referrals and trying to match needs to property, but also working locally with some of the key organisations, commissioners, care providers, investors, and developing partnerships to ensure that we can respond to the people that we support. We then look at, I project manage all our new services to opening, ensuring that our operational team have got the staff recruited, that we're developing the housing to meet the individual needs, and then we look at maintaining the relationship with the landlord and ensuring our service level agreements, SLA, are in place to ensure that we are working together when properties are open. So this is me in the middle on a daily basis, pulling my hair out because all those fragmentation bits around there, if one of them fails, the whole lot goes. It's like a can of worms. It reminds me of Jenga, actually. You want to get one block out and the whole lot goes. But I can't tell you how frustrating it is if none of those work and trying to navigate the system. And I know all of you in here will equally share those frustrations. You find the commissioners tell you they want a property. Yes, we've got that need. You go back with a need, then they come back 3 weeks later. Oh, I can't give you the commission support yet. If I can just speak to all the people in the local authority, I'll get back to you. Then they come back 3 weeks later. We'll have it now. Sorry, it's sold. And it's that constant churn. And if we could be much more joined up, and commissioners let landlords and care providers work together and trust them to do the job, then it would work much more effectively. If I tell you some of the housing benefit agreements and planning permission often take longer than actually it does to build a house, is not an understatement. It can take up to 12 months just to get an agreement. And then you've got the housing regulator on our back. You know, we can't do it that. No. But if we don't do that, these vulnerable people will be stuck in hospital for the rest of their lives. It's so frustrating when you get inundated referrals and you can't meet the needs. But working together and having resilience, because we all need resilience in this sector, gets good outcomes for people. And I'm going to end my presentation with this story, because this is what we're all here for. So we supported 4 people that had lived together for 20 odd years. The property they lived in was horrendous. They lived on the first floor accommodation. It didn't no longer meet their care needs. They were struggling with the stairs. They was restricted in the kitchen. They couldn't get in the kitchen to cook the meals. And the local authority in Kent was going to split all these people up. Until Chrysalis come to my rescue. Especially my Matt, where is he? Because found a bungalow, and what bungalow it was a right state. Is there any chance you could help us? And he did, and Chrysalis did, not just in Royal Chrysalis, but this bungalow now was fully adapted to meet these individuals' needs. They've all got their own ensuite, they had an open plan kitchen and living room, and they're involved in their lives now. They help clean, they help cook, they live the best lives, they still live in their local community where they've got a lot of their networks, and they love living together. They've got a lovely garden, they're friendly with the neighbours, even though the neighbours hated us at first. They like the neighbours now, and they're living the best lives. And this lady on the right, well, called Maggie, so we had a void, there was 3 people, there was 1 void. This lady lived in a property upstairs for 2 years because she was frightened to come downstairs. We thought, I think she'd fit in well in this bungalow. And it took us 6 months for the transition to get that lady downstairs. We had to do pictures to show her to get down, and she is now living her best life. She went on holiday last year, first holiday she's had in 10 years. She went back out to the hairdressers and had her hair dyed pink. And without that, this is what we're here for. Because it might seem trivial, these little things for you, but for these vulnerable people, it's the best. They're living their best lives because we are here working in partnership, whatever the challenges are, to provide a good service. So on that note, I'd like to thank you all for being here and for making a difference to the most vulnerable people in society. And have a good day, because I'm heading for my train now.